Is that the vampire? I've never really been this close to a vampire before. Not one I wasn't planning to kill, at least. He's cute for a downworlder. You'll have to forgive her. She has the face of an angel and the manners of a monarch demon. I'm Sebastian Verlac. And this is my cousin, Aline Penhallow. Aline, I don't shake hands with downworlders. They don't have souls, you know. Vampires. Aline! It's true, that's why they can't see themselves in mirrors or go in the sun. So it's true. The light would said, but I didn't think
that we were telling the truth. We won't lie about something like this. Simon's unique. I kissed him once.
They really do let you do whatever you want in New York, don't they? Last time I saw you, Izzy, you wouldn't even have considered. The last time we all saw each other, Izzy was 8. Things change. Now, Mom had to leave her in a hurry, so someone has to take her notes and records up to the guard for her. I'm the only one who's 18, so I'm the only one who can go while the play's in session.
We know! You've already told us that like 5 times.
Jace, you brought the vampire here, so you're in charge of him. Don't let him go outside.
That's what you brought me down here to tell me? Don't let the vampire go outside? I wouldn't have done that anyway. You'd better hurry up to the garden back. God knows what the privateer might get up to here without your guidance.
Try to hold it together. I'll be back in half an hour.
You shouldn't beat him. They did leave him in charge. Did you ever think that in a past life, Alec was an old woman with 90 cats who was always yelling at the neighborhood kids to get her for one? Because I do. Just because he's the only one who can go to the guard. What is the guard? Sit down, or did you plant a hover in the corner like a bat?
The guard is the official meeting place of the Clave. It's where the law is made and where the consul and inquisitor reside. Only adult shadowhunters are allowed onto its ground when the Clave is in session.
In session? You mean not because of me?
No, because of Valentine and the Mortal Instruments. That's why everyone's here, to discuss what Valentine's going to do next.
Well, he'll go after the mirror, the third of the Mortal Instruments, right? Is it here in Idris? Is that why everyone's here? The thing about the mirror is that no one knows where it is. In fact, no one knows what it is. It's a mirror, you know, reflective, glass. I'm just assuming.
What Isabel means is that nobody knows anything about the mirror. There are multiple mentions of it in Shadowhunter histories, but no specifics about where it is, what it looks like, or most important, what it does.
We assume Valentine wants it, but that doesn't help much since no one's got a clue where it is. None of the surviving Silent Brothers know. There are others who weren't in New York. The Bone City isn't really in New York. It's like, remember the entrance to the CD court in Central Park? Just because the entrance was there doesn't mean the court itself is under the park. It's the same with the Bone City. There are various entrances, but the city itself...
So, what's it like being a vampire?
Aline! You can't just go around asking people what it's like to be a vampire.
I don't see why. He hasn't been a vampire for that long, has he? So he must remember what it was like being a person. Does blood still taste like blood to you? Or does it taste like something else now? Like orange juice or something? Because I would think the taste of blood would...
It tastes like chicken.
Really? He's making fun of you, Aline. As well he should. I apologize for my cousin again, Simon. Those of us who were brought up outside Idris tend to have a little more familiarity with downworlders.
But weren't you brought up in Idris? I thought your parents... Isabel?
My parents are dead. A demon nest near Calais. It's alright, it was a long time ago. My aunt, my father's sister, brought me up at the Institute in Paris.
Do you speak French? I wish I spoke another language, but Hodge never thought we need to learn anything but Ancient Greek and Latin, and nobody speaks those.
I also speak Russian and Italian, and some Romanian. I could teach you some phrases.
Romanian? That's impressive. Not many people speak it.
Do you?
Not really. My Romanian is limited to useful phrases like, are these snakes poisonous? And, but you look much young to be a police officer.
I do like traveling. But it's good to be back, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Just that there's nowhere else quite like Idris. However much we Nephilim might make homes to ourselves elsewhere. Do you agree?
Why are you asking me?
Well, you lived there as a child, didn't you? And it's been years since you've been back. Or did I get that wrong?
You didn't get it wrong. Jace likes to pretend that everyone isn't talking about him, even when he knows they are.
They certainly are. These days in Idris, it's all anyone talks about. You, the Mortal Instruments, your father, your sister. Clarissa was supposed to come with you, wasn't she? I was looking forward to meeting her. What happened?
She didn't want to leave New York. Her mother's still in the hospital. It's weird. I really thought she wanted to come. She did. In fact, come to think of it, I have something I need to discuss with Simon. In private. Come on, vampire, let's talk.
Excuse me, who are you?
Aline, this is my sister, Clary.
Oh. Oh! Sorry, what a way to meet you. Hi, I'm Aline. Jace,
What in the name of the angel, Clary, are you doing here?
you could at least pretend you were glad to see me, even a little bit.
I'm not glad to see you. Not even a little bit.
This isn't you. I hate it when you act like this.
Oh, you hate it, do you? Well, I'd better stop doing it then, hadn't I? I mean, you do everything I ask you to do.
You had no right to do what you did. Lying to me like that, you had no right.
I had every right. I had every right, you stupid, stupid girl. I'm your brother. And
And what? You own me? You don't own me, whether you're my brother or not. What in all possible dimensions is going on here? Are you two trying to kill each other?
Not at all. Clary was just leaving.
Good, because I need to talk to you, Jace. Doesn't anyone in this house ever say hi, nice to see you anymore? It is good to see you, Clary. Except, of course, for the fact that you're really not supposed to be here. Isabel told me you got here on your own somehow, and I'm impressed.
Could you not encourage her?
But I really, really need to talk to Jace about something. Can you give us a few minutes? I need to talk to him too, about our mother.
I don't feel like talking to either of you, as a matter of fact.
Yes, you do. You really want to talk to me about this.
I doubt that. You didn't come here alone, did you? Who came with you?
Luke. Luke came with me.
But Luke is a downworlder. Do you know what the Clave does to unregistered downworlders who come into the Glass City? Who cross the water without permission? Coming to Idris is one thing, but entering Alicante without telling anyone?
No, but I know what you're going to say.
That if you and Luke don't go back to New York immediately, you'll find out.
Jace, haven't you wondered where I've been all day?
That's a new coat you're wearing. I figure you went shopping. Why are you so eager to bother me about it? I have no ID.
I didn't go shopping.
I told you he'd freak out, didn't I? Ah, that I told you so always. A classy move.
How can you joke? You just threatened Luke. Luke who likes you and trusts you. Because he's a downworlder. What's wrong with you?
Luke's here? Oh, Clary.
He's not here. He left this morning. And I don't know where he went. But I can certainly see now why he had to go. Fine. You win. We should never have come. I should never have made that portal.
Made a portal. Clary, only a warlock can make a portal. And there aren't very many of them. The only portal here in Idris is in the guard.
Which is what I had to talk to you about the errand I went on last night, the thing I had to deliver to the guard.
Alex, stop. Stop. You're right. You should never have come. I know I told you it's because I didn't stay for you here, but that wasn't true. The truth is that I don't want you here. Because you're rash and thoughtless and you mess everything up. It's just how you are. You're not careful, Clary.
Mess everything up.
Oh, Jace. You always just race ahead without thinking. You know that, Clary. We'd never have ended up in the Demort if it wasn't for you.
And Simon would be dead. Doesn't that count for anything? Maybe it was rash, but
maybe?
But it's not like every decision I've ever made was a bad one. You said after what I did on the boat, you said I'd saved everyone's life.
Shut up, Clary. Shut up.
On the boat? What about what happened on the boat? Jace?
I just told you that to keep you from whining. You're a disaster for us, Clary. You're mundane. You'll always be one. You'll never be a shadow hunter. You don't know how to think like we do. Think about what's best for everyone. All you ever think about is yourself. But there's a war on now, or there will be, and I don't have the time or the inclination to follow around after you, trying to make sure you don't get one of us killed. Go home, Clary. Go home.
When you told me the first time that Valentine was your father, I didn't believe it. Not just because I didn't want it to be true, but because you weren't anything like him. I've never thought you were anything like him. But you are. You are.
They're going to starve me. Did you hear what I said? The Inquisitor's going to starve me to death. No more blood.
I heard you. I just don't know what you want me to do about it. I'm sorry for you, Daylighter, if that helps.
It doesn't really. The Inquisitor wants me to lie. Wants me to tell him that the Lightwoods are in league with Valentine. Then he'll send me home. Never mind. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
Actually, I do. I knew the Lightwoods. We were in the circle together. The Lightwoods, the Whalens, the Pangborns, the Herondales, the Penhallows, all the fine families of Alicante.
And Hodge Starkweather. He was too, wasn't he?
He was, but his family was hardly a well-respected one. Hodge showed some promise once, but I fear he never lived up to it. Alder Trees always hated the Lightwoods, of course, since we were children. He wasn't rich or clever or attractive, and, well, they weren't very kind to him. I don't think he's ever gotten over it.
Rich? I thought all Shadowhunters got paid by the clave. Like, I don't know, communism or something.
In theory, all Shadowhunters are fairly and equally paid. Some, like those with high positions in the clave or those with great responsibility, running an institute, for example, receive a higher salary. Then there are those who live outside Idris, and choose to make money in the mundane world. It's not forbidden, as long as they teeth a part of it to the clave, but... You saw the Penhallows house, didn't you? What did you think of it?
Very fancy.
It's one of the finest houses in Alicante. And they have another house, a manor out in the country. Almost all the rich families do. You see, there's another way for Nephilim to gain wealth. They call it spoils. Anything owned by a demon or downworlder who is killed by a Shadowhunter becomes that Shadowhunter's property. So if a wealthy warlock breaks the law and is killed by a Nephilim...
So, killing downworlders is a lucrative business?
It can be, if you're not too choosy about who you kill. You can see why there's so much opposition to the Accords. It cuts into people's pocketbooks, having to be careful about murdering downworlders. Perhaps that's why I joined the Circle. My family was never a rich one, and to be looked down on for not accepting blood money.
But the Circle murdered downworlders too.
Because they thought it was their sacred duty, not out of greed. I can't imagine now why I ever thought that mattered. It was Valentine. He had a way about him. He could convince you of anything. I remember standing beside him with my hands covered in blood, looking down at the body of a dead woman, and thinking only that what I was doing had to be right, because Valentine said it was so.
A dead downworlder?
You must understand, I would have done anything he asked. Any of us would have. The Lightwoods as well. The Inquisitor knows that, and that is what he's trying to exploit. But you should know, there's the chance that if you give in to him, and throw blame on the Lightwoods, he'll kill you anyway to shut you up. It depends on whether the idea of being merciful makes him feel powerful at the time.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to do it. I won't betray the Lightwoods.
Really? Is there some reason why not? Do you care for the Lightwoods that much?
Anything I told him about them would be a lie.
But it might be the lie he wants to hear. You do want to go home, don't you?
Is that what you do? Lie to him?
I wouldn't take more advice from me. But yes, I probably would. I've always put saving my own skin first.
I'm sure that's not true.
Actually, it is. One thing you'll learn as you get older, Simon, is that when people tell you something unpleasant about themselves, it's usually true.
That's the first time you've called me Simon. Simon and not Daylighter.
I suppose it is.
And as for the Lightwoods, it's not that I like them that much. I mean, I like Isabel. And I sort of like Alec and Jace too, but there's this girl and Jace is her brother.
Isn't there always a girl?
Clary! Are you okay? You went out of the house like, what happened?
I had a fight with Jace. You know how it is.
I don't actually. I don't have any sisters or brothers.
Lucky.
You don't mean that. It's a sign.
A sign of what?
A sign that you should let me walk you home.
But I have no idea where that is. I snuck out of the house to get here. I don't know which way I came from.
Well, who are you staying with? I won't tell anyone. I found the angel.
I'm staying with Amethyst Herondale.
Great, I know exactly where she lives. Shall we?
You're kind of pushy, you know.
I have a fetish for damsels in distress.
Don't be sexist.
Not at all. My services are also available to gentlemen in distress. It's an equal opportunity fetish. Shall we?
Simon! Simon, get up!
Samuel? Samuel, was that you?
Turn around, Simon, and come to the window. What, did you think you were having a nightmare?
Maybe I still am.
So here's where they put you. I didn't think they even used these cells anymore. I got the wrong window at first, gave your friend in the next cell something of a shock. Attractive fellow, what with the beard and the rags. Kinda reminds me of the street folk back home.
I'm glad you think all this is funny.
You're not happy to see me then? I have to say I'm surprised. I've always been told my presence brightened up any room. One might think that went doubly for dank underground cells.
You knew what would happen, didn't you? They'll send you right back to New York, you said. No problem. But they never had any intention of doing that.
I didn't know. I know you won't believe me, but I thought I was telling you the truth.
You're either lying, or stupid,
Then I'm stupid.
or both. I'm inclined to think both.
I don't have a reason to lie to you, not now. And quit baring your fangs at me, it's making me nervous.
Good. If you want to know why, it's because you smell like blood.
It's my cologne. Oh, the recent injury.
I thought your kind didn't get injuries. Not ones that lasted.
I peered through a window and Alex making me heal like a mundane to teach me a lesson. There, I told you the truth. Impressed?
No, I have bigger problems than you. The Inquisitor keeps asking me questions I can't answer. He keeps accusing me of getting my daylighter power from Valentine, of being a spy for him.
Alder Tree said that?
All the tree implied, the whole clay thought so.
That's bad. If they decide you're a spy, then the Accords don't apply. Not if they can convince themselves you've broken the law. We better get you out of here.
And then what? Where do you plan on hiding me?
There's a portal here in the guard. If we can find it, I can send you back through.
And everyone will know you helped me. Jace, it's not just me the Clave is after. In fact, I doubt they care about one downworlder at all, one way or the other. They're trying to prove something about your family, about the Lightwoods. They're trying to prove that they're connected with Valentine somehow, that they never really left the circle.
But that's ridiculous. They fought Valentine. On the ship, Robert nearly died.
The Inquisitor wants to believe that they sacrificed the other Nephilim who fought on the boat to preserve the illusion that they were against Valentine. But they still lost the mortal sword, and that's what he cares about. Look, you tried to win the Clave and they didn't care. Now the Inquisitor is looking for someone to blame everything on. If he can brand your family as traitors, then no one will blame the Clave for what happened, and he'll be able to make whatever policies he wants to without opposition.
But I can't just leave you here. If Clary finds out...
I should have known that's what you were worried about. So don't tell her. She's in New York anyway. You were right. I'm glad she's not here.
What?
Clave's insane. Who knows what they'd do to her if they knew what she could do. You're right. And you might as well enjoy that I just said that to you. I probably won't ever say it again.
So you plan to stay here? In prison? Until when?
Until I think of a better idea. But there is one thing.
What's that?
Blood. The Inquisitor's trying to starve me into talking. I already feel pretty weak. By tomorrow I'll be... Well, I don't know how I'll be. But I don't want to give in to him. And I won't drink your blood again. Or anyone else's. Animal blood will do.
Blood I can get you. Did you tell the Inquisitor that I let you drink my blood? That I saved you? Why not?
I suppose I didn't want to get you into any more trouble.
Look, Vampire, protect the Lightwoods if you can, but don't protect me.
Why not?
I suppose because I don't deserve it.
I think that means who's there.
It looks like something out of a fairy tale.
Are you cold? But are you Ragnar Fell, the warlock? Well, I'm sure you're not Ragnar Fell, the exotic dancer. We were hoping you could help us. I'm Sebastian Verlac, and this is Clarissa Morgenstern. Her mother is Jocelyn Fairchild. I don't care who her mother is. You can't see me without an appointment. Come back later. Next March would be good. March? You're right, too rainy. How about June? I don't think you understand how important this is.
Sebastian, don't bother. He's just messing with your head. He can't help us anyway.
But I don't see why you can't. Alright, that's enough.
Sebastian! Sebastian? I can't believe you just did that. What on earth is wrong with you? Has whatever's in that pipe melted your brain? Sebastian's on our side.
I don't have a side, Clary darling. And really, it's your own fault I had to feed him for a short while. You were awfully close to telling him I'm not Ragnar Fell.
That's because you're not Ragnar Fell.
Come on, let me show you something.
Could you unfreeze him now, please?
I was surprised to see you in unfamiliar company. How did you wind up meeting him?
He's a cousin of some friends of the Lightwoods or something. He's nice, I promise.
Nice, but he's gorgeous. You should leave him here. I could hang hats on him and things.
No, you can't have him.
Why not? Do you like him? He seems to like you. I saw him going for your hand out there like a squirrel diving for a peanut.
Why don't we talk about your love life? What about you and Alec?
Alec refuses to acknowledge that we have a relationship, and so I refuse to acknowledge him. He sent me a fire message asking for a favor the other day. It was addressed to Rorlog Bane, as if I were a perfect stranger. He's still hung up on Jace, I think, though that relationship will never go anywhere. A problem I imagine you know nothing about.
Oh, shut up. Look, if you don't unfreeze him, then I can never leave here, and you'll never get the Book of the White.
Oh, alright. But if I might make a request, don't tell him any of what I just told you. Friend of the Lightwoods or not. Help us. This isn't just a minor problem. This is life and death. You Nephilim think all your problems are life and death. Now go away. You've begun to bore me. But go.
I think we should go, Sebastian. But
Clary.
We're going.
Clary, is that you? Clary? Your brother's here to see you. He's waiting in the kitchen.
Jace is here?
Should I not have let him in? I thought you'd want to see him.
No, it's fine. I'm just tired.
Well, I'll be upstairs if you want me. I need a nap. Good, you're back. I was beginning to think you'd fallen into the canal. Look exhausted. Where have you been all day?
I was out with Sebastian.
Sebastian?
He walked me home last night, and so far he's the only person in this city who's been remotely nice to me, so yes, I was out with Sebastian.
I see. Clary, I came here to apologize. I should have spoken to you the way I did.
No, you shouldn't have.
I also came to ask you if you'd reconsider going back to New York.
God, this again?
It's not safe for you here.
What are you worried about? That they'll throw me in prison like they did with Simon?
Simon...
Sebastian told me what happened, what you did. How you brought him here and then let him just get thrown in jail. Are you trying to get me to hate you?
It's just Sebastian. You barely know him, Clary.
Is it not true?
It's true.
How could you? Simon trusted you. Where is he now? What are they going to do to him?
Nothing. He's alright. I saw him last night.
Before or after I saw you? Before or after you pretended everything was alright and you were just fine?
You came away from the act thinking I was just fine. I must be a better actor than I thought.
Let go of my hand.
Are you really going to hit me if I do?
Don't you think you deserve it?
Do you think I planned all this? Do you really think I do that?
Well, you don't like Simon, do you? Maybe you never have.
This why I cut my wrist to let your vampire friend drink my blood. It nearly killed me. And I think what, I just abandoned him without a thought?
Sebastian told me you brought Simon here and then Alec marched him up to the guard. Let the Clave have him. You must have known.
I brought him here by accident. I asked him to come to the institute so I could talk to him. About you, actually. I thought maybe he could convince you to drop the idea of coming to Idris. If it's any consolation, he wouldn't even consider it. While he was there, we were attacked by Forsaken. I had to drag him through the portal with me. It was that or leave him there to die.
But why bring him to the Clave? You must have known.
The reason we sent him there was because the only portal in Idris is in the guard. They told us they were sending him back to New York.
And you believed them after what happened with the Inquisitor?
Clary, the Inquisitor was an anomaly. That might have been your first experience with the Clave, but it wasn't mine. The Clave is us, the Nephilim. They abide by the law.
Except they didn't.
No, they didn't. And the worst part about all this is remembering Valentine ranting about the Clave, how it's corrupt, how it needs to be cleansed, and by the angel if I don't agree with him.
He might be right that things need fixing, but he's not right about the way they should be fixed. You can see that, can't you?
I'm not sure I can see anything. You're right to be angry, Clary. I shouldn't have trusted the Clave. I wanted so badly to think that the Inquisitor was an abnormality, that she was acting without their authority, that there was still some part of being a Shadowhunter I could trust.
Jace,
What is it?
I want to see Simon. Can you take me to see him?
No! You're not even supposed to be in Idris. You can't go waltzing into the guard.
But he'll think everyone's abandoned him. He'll think...
I went to see him. I was going to let him out. I was going to tear the bars out of the window with my hands. But he wouldn't let me.
He wouldn't let you? He wanted to stay in jail?
He said the Inquisitor was sniffing around after my family, to me. Archie wants to blame what happened in New York on us. He can't grab one of us and torture it out of us to Clave would find that. But he's trying to get Simon to tell him some story we're all in cahoots with Valentine. Simon said if I break him out, then the Inquisitor would know I did it, and it would be even worse for the Lightwoods.
That's very noble of him and all, but what's his long-range plan? To stay in jail forever?
We hadn't exactly worked it out.
Boys. Alright, look, what you need is an alibi. We'll make sure you're somewhere everyone can see you, and the Lightwoods are too, and then we'll get Magnus to break Simon out of prison and get him back to New York.
I hate to tell this, Clary, but there's no way Magnus would do that. I don't care how cute he thinks Alec is, he's not going to go directly against the Clave as a favor to us.
He might for the Book of the White.
The what? Demons. Magnus said Fel was killed by demons?
No, he said the place stank of something demonic in origin and that Fel was killed by Valentine's servants. That's all he said.
If Magnus wasn't specific, it's probably because he's none too pleased that there's a warlocker there practicing dark magic, breaking the law. But it's hardly the first time Valentine's got one of Lilith's children to do his nasty bidding. Remember that warlock kid he killed in New York?
Valentine used his blood for the ritual, I remember. Jace, does Valentine want the book for the same reason I do? To wake my mother up?
He might. Or if it's what Magnus says it is, Valentine might just want it for the power he could gain from it. Either way, we better get it before he does.
Do you think there's any chance it's in the Wayland Banner?
I know it's there. That cookbook, recipes for housewives or whatever. I've seen it before in the Manor's library. It was the only cookbook in there.
Jace, if you take me to the Manor and we get the book, I'll go home with Simon. Do this for me and I'll go to New York and I won't come back, I swear.
Magnus was right. There are misdirection words on the Manor. It's not close. Walking, it might take us 5 hours.
Who said anything about walking?
Alec, did you just save my life?
You never called me back. I called you so many times and you never called me back.
Your city's under attack. The roads have broken and the streets are full of demons. And you want to know why I haven't called you?
I want to know why you haven't called me back.
You're an idiot.
Is that why you didn't call me? Because I'm an idiot?
No, I didn't call you because I'm tired of you only wanting me around when you need something. I'm tired of watching you be in love with someone else. Someone, incidentally, who will never love you back. Not the way I do.
You love me?
You stupid Nephilim. Why else am I here? Why else did I spend the past few weeks patching up all your moronic friends every time they got hurt? And getting you out of every ridiculous situation you find yourself in. Not to mention helping you in a battle against Valentine. And all completely free of charge.
I hadn't looked at it that way.
Of course not. You never looked at it in any way. I'm 400 years old, Alexander. I know when something isn't going to work. You won't even admit I exist to your parents.
I thought you were 300, you're 400 years old?
Well, 500, but I don't look it. Anyway, you're missing the point. The point is...
Damn it.
Way to change the subject, Lightwood.
Tell you what, we'll live through this and I promise I'll introduce you to my whole family.
It's a deal.
We are Nephilim. We fight our own battles.
That's not precisely true, is it? You know I've used to help with warlocks on more than one occasion in the past. And paid handsomely for it too.
I don't remember the Clave inviting you into the Glass City, Magnus Bane.
They didn't. Your words are down.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
That's terrible. Someone should have told you. Tell them the words are down.
Clary, your clothes. Clary.
What's going on here? Who are you?
Maris.
How do you know my mother's name?
Of course, you're Maris's daughter. It's just, you look so much like her. I'm Jocelyn Fairchild. I'm Clary's mother.
But you were in the hospital. In New York.
I was, but thanks to my daughter I'm fine now, and I'd like a moment with her.
I'm not sure she wants a moment with you. This must be a shock for her.
Clary, how did you get here, Jocelyn? I portaled to just outside the city with Magnus Bane. Yesterday he came to me in the hospital. He brought the antidote. He told me everything you did for me. All I've wanted since I woke up was to see you. Clary, is something wrong? Why didn't you ever tell me I had a brother? I thought he was dead. I thought it would only hurt you to know. Let me tell you something, Mom. Knowing is better than not knowing. Every time. I'm sorry. Sorry? Do you want to explain why you never told me I was a shadow hunter? Or that my father was still alive? Oh, and how about that bit where you paid Magnus to steal my memories? I was trying to protect you, but you did a terrible job. What do you expect to happen to me after you disappeared? If it hadn't been for Jace and the others, I'd be dead. You never showed me how to protect myself. You never told me how dangerous things really were. What did you think? That if I couldn't see the bad things, that meant they couldn't see me? You knew Valentine wasn't dead. You told Luke you thought he was still alive. That's why I had to hide you. I couldn't risk letting Valentine know where you were. I couldn't let him touch you. Because he turned your first child into a monster and you didn't want him to do the same to me. Yes, but that's not all it was, Clary. You stole my memories. You took them away from me. You took away who I was. It's not who you are. I never wanted it to be who you were. It doesn't matter what you wanted. It is who I am. You took all of that away from me and it didn't belong to you.